with us tonight. We look forward to hearing your words of wisdom. And please, Bekef, whenever you're ready. You got him? Camera? Okay.
Good evening. Bruchim Aninsoim for everyone. I'm glad I came especially from Yerushalayim to speak to you today. First, I'll introduce myself. So the way you hear, English is not my first language, it's my second language, so I'll try to do my best. And if I use some words in Hebrew, you'll forgive me. Well, tistadru. Worst comes to words, you can help me to translate some words. So, I'll try. So, my name is Pliskin, and I have Zchus Avis. My father is Rabbi Yechiel Pliskin. I'm sure a lot of the crowd read his books or heard about him. I got all the base of the Avodas HaChinuch from my father, but generation changed, so I got from some more sources also. HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent me in the last 21 years to deal with Chinuch. So I have to deal with Bachrim and Yeshivas, basically struggling youth, Bachurim Noar Mitmoded. And I have to deal with parents. I give some consulting for parents and some more good mitzvahs umaisim tovim. Where's my papers? Oh, thanks. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Okay, so I want to share with you a few machshavos tovanot, you say in Hebrew. A few thoughts about being a parent in our days. I'll start with a question. There's a pasuk in Mishlei. The pasuk says, "Yaseir bincha v'yanichecho, v'yitein ma'adanim lenafshecho." Give your child musar, and he'll give you naches, and he'll feed you your soul with goodies. V'yitein ma'adanim lenafshecho. Kilu it's a mivtza. It's a mivtza. If you'll be a good parent, you'll teach your child Torah and Musar, you get a prize. So we all want to get the big prize. Who doesn't want nachas from the children? But a lot of parents come and ask, listen, I don't understand what's happening here. I did my half, but I don't see I'm getting back the second half. Yaser bincha, I did. I taught him Torah, and I gave him the best chinuch I could. And I came up to Eretz Yisrael because I wanted to give him the best chinuch. And we know today Musar is not a strong Musar. It's a Musar for positive way. So I did my part, but I don't see the second part existing. V'yanichecha, I don't see a lot of nachas from him. I'm waiting to see when I'll see my child already giving me ma'adanim, goodies for my soul. It's not coming up, so what's wrong over here? This is a question of a lot of parents. And I found in a sefer of Rabbi Chaim Friedlander, the mechaber of the Sifsei Chaim. He has a sefer on chinuch that he put together from his ma'amorim called Mesilot Chaim Bechinuch. He asked this question. He spoke to parents that their children are special children. And I took it to all parents because we're all special parents for special children. In his answer, he brings a medrash from Megillas Rus. So we're going to learn, Be'ezrat Hashem, in a week. Megillas Rus. And the pasuk says, Rus tells Naomi, Shem ha'ish asher osisi imoye hayoim Boyaz. The person that I did with him chesed today is Boyaz. So Chazal ask, Harei Boyaz, he was the one that did chesed with Rus. He let her to take leket from his field. So why does the pasuk say that Rus did chesed with Boaz? Chazal answer, Toni Rabbi Yeshua, Yoiser mima sheba'al habayis oise im he'oni oise im ba'al habayis. It's a bigger chesed that the oni does with Baal habayis than what the Baal habayis does to the oni. That's why Rus says, I did with him. I did chesed to Boaz. Says Reb Chaim Friedlander, the children that challenge us, the children shema'amidim otanu b'mivchan, that we have to develop our midas to grow them up. We have to do some deep job with ourselves and find inner revadim amukim. How do you say revadim? We have to find the inner layers in our heart to find out what happens over there. How are we feeling towards our children? And the avodas midas that we have through them, that is the chesed they cause with us. Meaning, we have to look on this opposite. Instead of to look how much naches he's giving me, we're supposed to ask ourselves, how many zchusim we get from our children to develop our good midos. And he brings another medrash, famous Gemara in Baba Basra, Shal Tarnos Rufus Horosho, es Rabbi Akiva. Im Elokeichem oihev ho'anim, mipnei ma'enei mefarnasom. If your God loves the poor people, why doesn't he give them some more parnasa? Answered Rabbi Akiva, Kedei shenitzoil onu bohen midino shel gehenim. It's our zchus to give tzedakah to the ani, because that's how we get saved from Gehenim. Says Reb Chaim Friedlander, today we live in ba'olam ha'ma'aravi, there's capitalism. People are ma'arich other people according to their achnasot. If you do $10,000 or $20,000 or whatever you do, wow, ata productivi, you're productive. But if a person has no achnasa, and he lives from the tzedakah, from the revacha, from the kuppah, and he's schlepping away, so in today's view, people look on him, he's not worth anything. Like, what is he doing here? So that's a view that it's not a Yiddish view. It's taken from the Ma'arav, from the capitalism, from America, from Europe. People they ma'arich them according to what they do. And even in Ruchnius, if we, how do we say ma'arich in English? If we appreciate a person just according to his progress, how many blat did you do a month? How many hours of learning did you donate to the world in this day? Or how many davenings, or put on tefillin, or different mitzvahs that you did. If we appreciate a person just according to the production that he brings out, so we're part of the Tarbut HaMa'aravit. The Tarbut HaMa'aravit that sees people like Hesagim. Now it's a delicate thing, because we want us and our children growing in Torah and Yiras Shamayim. Ve'im kol zeh, says Reb Chaim Friedlander, we should be looking on each one of our children in a different view. How many zchusim do we have because of him? How many good midas did I develop because of this child? And this way, dafka these children that challenge us, that they're struggling and we're looking for a solution, what to do with them. And we try to send them to this yeshiva and the other yeshiva, and to this therapist and that rabbi and this chabruse and chonech, and we still don't see the light. עדיין לא רואים את האור בקצה המנהרה. דווקא these children are our biggest zchusim. So we all have a real out of this. We're real out of these challenges. So this is Reb Chaim Friedlander. I had a zchus to be a neighbor of the famous tzaddik Harav Uri Zohar, Zecher Tzaddik Livrocho. My parents live till today. And Pani was 14 in Yerushalayim, And Rav Uri Zohar lived in Pony Meiroi 17. As a child, I don't know if I appreciate enough the zchus to be a neighbor of this tzaddik, but he was really a tremendous person. And he went through a lot with his children, and he went through with his grandchildren, and he got a special permission from his children and grandchildren to speak about it in public. He used to go from place to place and speak to parents and tell them, listen, I'm going this through, so I could speak to you. One of the major sentences that he said, and I think there's a lot of deepness in it, he said, אני זכיתי לחזור בתשובה 3 פעמים. I did tshuva. I was חוזר בתשובה 3 times. The first time was me and my wife. When they were 40 years old, they decided they're becoming religious. And my father should live and be well. He used to teach in Eish Torah for a lot of years. And in those years, Rabbi Uri Zohar left the television, left his whole ma'amad ba'olam ha'chiloni, and he sat in the old city and learned Torah with Rabbi Noach Weinberg and with Rav Zilberman and other Rebbeim that taught him. And the friar world, people from the friar world didn't understand what happened to this person. He was rich, he was famous, he had power, he had covet. Why did he leave? They wanted this, they didn't believe it. So people were coming into Eish Torah and asking, Efa Uri Zohar? Efa Uri Zohar? They just wanted to see him. I don't know what they wanted to ask him. Maybe to ask him, like, are you true? Like, what is your story? So day after day, my father told me, I don't know if every day, mamish, people came in and were asking, Efa Uri Zohar? They wanted to see him. It was a pele. Davar pele. Okay, הוא חזר בתשובה, ברוך Hashem, and he knew, he sat and learned, he knew Kol HaTorah Kulo. He was tremendous. Second time he said, חזרתי בתשובה עם הילדים שלי. Because when he went through this whole struggling with his children, he said, חזרתי בתשובה פעם שנייה. This is the second time I did tshuva. And the third time he said, with my grandchildren. I knew part of his grandchildren. This was already in my days. I had to deal with part of them. Bli ayin hara, cute children, and part of them went through a lot of different processes. And he said, with my grandchildren, I was chazor b'tshuva a third time. So what is the pshat in this sentence? Why did he chazor b'tshuva 3 times? I want to offer a pshat. I don't know if it's right or not. The crowd should say, if it sounds hegioni. When a person is chazor b'tshuva and he wants to be from, kamuvan it's l'shem shamayim. But each one has also a shtickle shaloi lishmo. I want to be part of the community. I want to be mechubed. I want to be part of the community and go with exactly the right hat, the right jacket, and be mechubad in the kehila and show everyone, you see my children, Bli ayin hara, Yankale and Chanale, Moishi and Vori, they're all, but come the children that challenge us, and they act different. And then we don't really have a ma'amad in the community because of them. So then, what's going to give us the power to continue raising them, to put into them so much effort, money, time, tefillas, heart, patience? We have to be much more l'shem shamayim. Because the community won't clap hands, they won't patch hands for us because what we did. It doesn't look very notetz, doesn't look very good. We have to work l'shem shamayim and know, even though it's hard for me, even though I don't yet have the results that I was looking for, I'm still continuing to love him, to give him the best, to find a solution for his problems. And what happens when the grandchildren come and they challenge him again? And he had a lot to deal with the grandchildren. He used to sit and lose them chavruses and speak to them. It's more l'shem shamayim. So he became more Baal Tshuva and more Baal Tshuva. This is my pshat. I don't know what the crowd thinks about this pshat. This is my pshat. Each one of the children that challenge us and doesn't bring us the nachas and cover that we wanted in this point brings us to be much more l'shem shamayim. So we're over Hashem really from inside. And sometimes parents that have it hard with their children tell me, listen, they tell me it's not simple. Why? Because I come to simches and I meet whatever brothers-in-law, in-laws, parents, and other people or in the community. And then part of my relatives tell me, listen, it's your fault. You're not enough samchuti. You're not enough with gvulot and mishmat. You have to be more, how do you say in English? You're more strict. You have to put the rules stronger in your house. And at that same time, I hear from other members in the family or in the community the opposite. And they say, listen, you have to be nicer to your children. You have to love them more. You have to accept them the way they are. You're not okay. So they ask me, how can I be Yotzei Yedei Chayva? All of my members of family and community. Already now, I have here lefties and here righties. Whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to be in a mivchan, in zchuchit magdelet. People are going to look in a microscope and say, you're not okay. It's your fault. And I tell the parents, listen, you should know from now until the end of the way, you won't be able to meratze everyone. You won't be able to make everyone satisfied. You'll have some people thinking it's your fault because of this way. And other people are going to say exactly opposite. You have to work just by one. You have to work by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He should be happy with you. Because if you're going to try to make everyone satisfied, no one's going to be satisfied. And not you, and not your wife, and not your child. Because you're going to work by different people. I see this. I have some people coming to me, and they have five how do you say, yoatzim, consultants in one time. So they go to me, and they go to him, and they go to her, and they go to this one. They get so many advices that are soter. Each one is against the other one. They don't know what to do. So, b'chol mikre, a person has to take an eitzah from one wise person. It could be a rav, or yoetz, a mechanech, one person. And he should know, I'm working by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants me to do my best, even though I'm not doing it mushlam. There isn't mushlam. Yeah? And that's the only way to go this through, to work by HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I want to read for you a letter that I had as chus to be part of the writing in it. Basically, I was like the shadchan for writing this letter. Even though it's in Hebrew, I'll read it. And the story of the letter is, I had to deal about 10 years ago with parents that the child went off the derech, and they took it very, very, very hard. They were against him, they were fighting him, and they were critical towards him, and it was terrible. And finally, after I sat with them once, twice, and much more than that, I got them to a point that they understood we have to do the opposite. We have to really appreciate this child because he's developing our personality. And it's a schos, it's a present from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But when they got to this maskana, the child wasn't in the house. He ran away from the house for a week or 2 or 3 because he had a fight with his parents. And then his mother wrote this coming letter, and I was the shaliach to give the child the letter that his mother wrote. And when he got this note, he was so touched, he said, I'm coming back home. And he came back home. Okay, so I'm reading this letter. It's an authentic letter. Every word is real. Maybe I changed some details or private names for privacy of whoever wrote it. מוישה היקר שלי, קמתי הבוקר עם תחושה חזקה של הכרת הטוב אליך. I got up in the morning with tremendous תחושה of הכרת הטוב towards you. כן, אליך. Yes, towards you. I have to tell you thank you. Whatever I'm going to be able to say it in English. I have to tell you thank you. A great thank you. Or inner thank you. A tremendous thank you. אתה מתפלא, נכון? Thank you to me. What happened to my mother? Your mother got today a great present. קיבלתי הערה עצומה משמיים. I got lightness from heaven. קיבלתי את הידיעה שהבן שלי מזכה אותי. That my dear child is elevating me. עם כל מה שלכאורה אתה מעולל לי. נפתחו לי העיניים לדעת שהבן שלי מזכה אותי לגלות. I discovered because of you. מצבורים שלמים של אמונה. How do you say מצבורים? Like a whole אוצר of אמונה. אהבת השם. And I know that all of the bushot, all of the bushes that I have because of you, and he read it and he was okay with it. Everything is for to fix me up. לזכך אותי. And this is my biggest tikkun in my life, and thank you for this. Even though it's hard for us, הקדוש ברוך הוא ממשיך להחיות אותנו. להאיר לנו את פניו. He's opening up our eyes. We should see that this whole process we're going through is from love and pity that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has towards us. Not every mother is zeiche to this understanding. I was zeiche. Okay, she continued on writing over here some more things. You understand the idea already. She finished also with very optimist. We know your inner ratzon, your inner wanting is to come back to be a Yehudi Yirei Shamayim, to come back to the way of the family, even though we have patience to wait till it's going to happen. We believe shetagia bekarov, to yourself, to your soul, to God. And meanwhile, you should know, in any case, we love you, waiting for you, Mami. So this was the letter, and I was the shaliach giving it to him. He read it, he was touched, and he told me, I'm coming back home. That was maybe Yom Revi'i or Chamishi. So Yom Shishi, he said, today I'm coming. And because I knew that I'm not sure if he's going to come or not, because he used to say, and not each time he used to mekayem. So I went to his parents' house, downstairs in the street. I was waiting for him. And I figured, when I'm going to see him, I'm going to call up his parents and say, listen, he's here. So finally I see him, and I see him, I give him a hug, and I called up his parents. His mother was in the house, and I said, Moshe is coming. She said, Vakasha, sheyavo. Okay, we came up home, and his mother and him were hugging each other, and Mamish, eiz ahava. I said, okay, I see you're getting along without me, bye-bye. I went back home. And a week afterwards, his mother called me up and told me, Rabbi Pliskin, I have a request, how do you say, bakasha? Request from you. Please take this child away from here. Do with him whatever you want. You could adapt him. You could do anything. I just don't want to see him more in my life. So I have a question. Did she lie in the first hand when she said that she's thankful for him? She found delight in his chus. Or did she lie in the second point when she said, just take this person away from here? I don't have any rights on him? I think the answer is she was true in both points. She really felt in a certain point that she's grateful for to understand what's her shlichut with this child. And afterwards came a hard day, a difficult day, and again she felt, listen, it's too much for me. I can't deal this more. So if we see this, think by us as parents, In Hebrew, you say Yom Asal, Yom Basal. Some days we have the kochot, we have the strength, and we're brave, and we're big. And some days we feel so weak and so overwhelming. It's not a lie. This is the way a person is. We have strong days and weak days, and this is the way we live. Any questions? There's haskama mikir lekir. So what do you say? Rabbi Yankiv, maybe we should do some questions from the crowd, or... You know, it's not simple for me with the English to continue more and more. I could, but maybe there's... I have some more to say. מה קרה עם מוישי? Okay, so that is a סיפור מאוד כואב. In those days, I didn't have so much experience like today. This was 10 years ago, and I was basically in the beginning of my way in chinuch. Even though I'm in chinuch 20 years, but the first 10 years, I was in yeshivas. It's a different מחלקה. And בערך 10, 12 years, I'm working privately. And in a certain point, he went into the yeshiva. So we're happy, we thought already, הוא הגיע למנוחה ולנחלה. And also his parents were learning slowly by slowly what's their tafkid and what they should be doing with him. Afterwards, התברר that he was chotem to the tzava. התברר that before he went to the yeshiva, he had a schwache time, and he went to the army and he signed that he's going into there. And then we couldn't get him out of there. Whatever, I went to sit and ask him. Probably it was a mistake, it wasn't the right asking, it was too late to do anything. And he went to the army. And from then, for several reasons, I couldn't continue the connection with him and with his parents. So I don't know exactly how the story ended. According to what I know, he is shomer mitzvahs, and he was mitchazek, and his parents also got back to themselves. But I don't have correct ideas. Not all of the stories have this happy end, but Baruch Hashem, he did do some job with himself. One more point. Someone over here from the crowd reminded me that, what?
He's still in the game.
He's still in the game. Could be. According to what the bit that I know, could be. He's still in the game. Another point, someone from the crowd reminded me today, over here, that I spoke about it in a different place. There's a major tool for every parent, ubifrat, if the child doesn't have good connection with the parents. If there isn't a straight communication with him, so this is a special tool that skips all of the machsomim. It's straight from soul to soul. The name of the tool is speak to your child's soul. Daber el neshama shelo. Meaning, doesn't matter where you are and where your child is. Could be you're in Beit Shemesh and your child is now in, I don't know where, also Beit Shemesh, Yerushalayim, Tel Aviv, or Australia, wherever he is in the world. Your souls are connected. It says it in all of the Sforim HaKadoshim, that a father and a child, a mother and a child, even every two Jews, but bifrat, if it's your child, your souls are connected with a string. Whatever goes through your child, you feel it, and he feels you too. It was one of my students, he went through a motorcycle accident. And he was injured, and he was in the ambulance. In that same minute, his mother felt something is wrong with my Moishale. And she called him up once, twice, 7 times, 12 times, 15 times. And he didn't answer because he was injured. And now she was sure something happened to him. And it was. She felt something is wrong. So this is the intuition, the parental intuition that we all know more or less, and we could use it greatly. So the tool is basically pretty simple. You take, let's say, a minute a day, 5 minutes a day, or whatever is comfortable for you. And you're, let's say, on the way to job, you're washing dishes, you're sitting in your room, wherever you are, driving a car, and you're just speaking to the soul of your child. And it could be also a very good child. You just have like one point that's wrong with him. Let's say he's a teenager. He has a hard time with you. Even the best children, to the best parents, have hard time with the parents. Sometimes they don't want to speak to them. They feel, you'll never understand me. You're different than me. Or if there's more bigger problems, whatever is the point, you just speak to his soul. You could tell him berech like this. Berech. I'm giving you for example, yeah? Let's say your child's name is Yankee. My dear Yankee. You just speak. You take it out, the words, from your lips. B'sheket. His soul hears it. The same way the Chafetz Chaim says, in the name of the Zohar, if a person says Lashon Hara, there's a Ruach Ra called Sachsucha. It goes in the world and does damage. The same way, Midat Toiva Meruba, for good, when we say good words, and the words go out from our lips, it goes in the world and creates reality. Our words, they create reality. So you could tell him, Yankale, I love you. I really love you. Even though sometimes there's some misunderstandings between us, I still love you. And if I get angry on you sometimes, you'll forgive me because I'm just a person. And I want to tell you something. I would really like you to come and speak to me some more. Even though we have some fights and some arguments sometimes, but you're my child. I love you. You know, you can machlif a father, and I can change a child. So we're together for good. And I would really like you to speak to me some more. And speak to me as derech eretz. We should have a good time together, even though we think different, or live different, or see things different, feel different. We're still a father and a child. And it could be your daughter, and it could be your wife saying this towards your son and daughter. And P.S., it works also zugi. You towards your wife towards you, also it works also. You speak to the soul listens. And then you can end and whatever you want to tell him. If, let's say, you have a message what you would want to tell him, but you can't speak to him directly. You tell him, listen, you're a good boy. You have such a kishre and midas toives. You come from a good family. Choose your friends. There's some friends you go with. Don't tell it to him directly. No. Tell it to his soul. There's some friends that are not in your level. They can teach you big things. B'ni, al teilech bederech itam. Just speak to his soul. His soul understands. Or let's say there's some limits you want to put in the house. Let's say there's a child who wants to put out loud in the house music. That's not in our derech. And you tell him, listen, my child, if you put music out loud, it should be something that's good for everyone. If not, listen in your earphones. And he doesn't listen to you. So there's some more things we could do also. But you could also just speak to his soul and tell his soul. Again, he's not here. It goes through the ear. It's a sicha virtualit. Through the internet. It's through the ear. My child, there's some gvulot in the house, like music. I would want you to respect them. And then, this is a conversation. It could be a minute, 5 minutes, whatever it is. And Baruch Hashem, it works. It works because there is the connection between the hearts. There was a father that sat in my office with his wife, a couple. It was Friday, 10 o'clock in the morning. And they had really a difficult story with the child. The child was really rebellious and bemered, and he had a thing, Ivchun called ODD, Oppositional Defiance Disorder. It's like, these strong children that are against everyone, against all of the samchuyot of the adults. And they had terrible fights. And the father told me, I'll tell you the truth, I hate this child. I hate him. I don't want him more in my life. He told me the truth. I told him, listen, first, I understand you. I understand you're frustrated. You're a person. You have emotions. Okay, I understand you. But, it won't work this way because you can't give a get to your child. If you throw him from the door, he's going to come back from the window. He's your child. If he's in trouble, you go after him and help him. And what's with your wife? She loves him. His brothers and sisters. You can't throw him. I told him just like logical. There's no way to do this. So he asked me, so what should I do? We're not talking to each other already for weeks, for months. I told him this eitzah. Told him, take a few minutes a day and speak to him. Tell him, listen, I want to love you. Don't lie. I want to forgive you. I want to be friends with you. I want. Please, let's do it together. He calls me up Sunday and told me, listen, Rabbi Pliskin, I'm amazed because it worked too fast. What happened? That Friday, in the way to the house, he spoke to the soul of his child and told him these words. I would want to forgive you. I would want to love you. Let's do it together and let's try to forget what happened and start a new way. He came home and he said, children, who wants to help Tati for Shabbos? And this child that didn't speak to his father for lots of time jumped and said, Tati, whatever you say. He told me, listen, I told him also, it's too fast. I didn't know it works so fast, but it works great. It works great. So this is like my tip for every parent could use it. Okay, so these are my words. If there's any other questions, so hopefully I'll try to answer. Yes. Just if I could have another cup of Coke, I'll be thankful. Yeah, thanks. Yes, I just, when I speak in English, it's a double job. I have to translate everything and break my teeth. So I get a special bonus for this. Yes. Right. How? Meaning, can you explain your question? Just like this. Now I'm speaking to my child. Now I'm giving you a live. He doesn't have to be there, and better you should not be there. You just speak to the ear. You take out the words from your lips, and from here the words go and they do their job. They just go into his soul because there's the connection between the souls. The Gaon of Vilna says that a father and a child are like two halves of a magnet. If you have two halves of a magnet, you move one, the other one moves also, even though they're not attached physically. He says also the two hearts of a father and a child, you move the father, the child feels, and also the opposite. Yeah, you could say something negative and then you'll lose. How I feel about you. I'm frustrated right now. That's okay, because it's enoshi. You could say, I feel frustrated. It's okay, you could say it. It's hard for me. It's not easy for me with you. But I would recommend you should use also afterwards some positive words to give also the optimistic part. Please. Yes. Wow. It's going to be too hard for me to answer this question in English. In Hebrew. עוד פעם, אז אתה שואל אם יש הורים שהם גרושים. בעברית. אני רוצה לוודא שהבנתי את השאלה. ברגע שזה נהיה קצת מסובך, אני רוצה לוודא שהבנתי. אם יש שני הורים שהם גרושים, והם בסכסוך, וכל אחד מהם מושך את הילד לכיוון שונה, בין אם זה מבחינה אישית, או מבחינת רמה רוחנית, הרבה פעמים נוצרים פערים, כן? אני הבנתי אותך נכון, או שכבר תרגמתי יותר מדי טוב? כל הורה מעוניין לקחת את הילד לצד שלו, כן? אז אוקיי, אז מה השאלה? וואו. לא, זה באמת שאלה שהיא מורכבת מאוד. זה לא באמת... אני יכול לענות תשובה כללית. Yes, definitely. The spiritual connection is definitely existing because this is his father and this is his mother, and it's part of the soul. It can be changed. Yeah, it's a teva. It's a teva. So also in such a case, there's a shpa. There's a shpa. You know, you're reminding me there was a girl from home in Bnei Brak. And at a certain point, she ran away of the house. She changed her clothing to friar clothing, and she didn't want to meet her parents. And I gave her parents this eitzah. And I told them, listen, speak to her soul. They met me within a month or two, and they told me, listen, it worked. First, she called us up and wanted to speak to us on the phone. Second point, she wanted to meet us. And the third point, she came back home. She didn't yet do tshuva yet. It's still time, but she came back home. So I saw also in cases when child is shouting, I don't want you in my life. He's lying himself. His soul is part of us, and our connection is for good. That I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer. I could say about the child, for sure you could refresh the connection. That's for sure. It's worth it to try because I saw a lot of difficult cases that the connection was refreshed by this eitzah. But yeah, what you're asking, I don't have experience and I don't know. Yes. Try to speak loud, I should hear you. You know what? I'll give you the loudspeaker. It sounds like you're going to say a wise thing.
Not that wise.
I don't know if the wire comes to here, so he'll come to us.
So Rabbi Lazar, I don't know if people were, if everyone was here at the time but he said, move away, okay. He said one line that I think I was looking around the room when he said the line, and I think a lot of people maybe related to it, which was that he said that a lot of times fathers are the backbones in the backbones, but they are unrelated. They don't get the appreciation that a lot of like everyone else gets, you know. And I told him, I said, you know, there's like 50 organizations for like wives. This is the only organization I ever heard that a father, that they're actually thinking of the father. So my question is that, you know, I have a younger kid, so maybe it's a little bit different. But a lot of times, the kid, they'll complain about something. You're not spending enough time with them. You're not doing X, Y, Z, A, B, C. And they don't understand what you did, what you're doing, the back. That the person's paying for the rent, the person's paying for the house, the person's paying for the food, the person's paying for your, whatever it is, your toys, your new Nikes. They don't understand that. They're looking at, and maybe because my kid's younger, maybe it's a little bit different, so he doesn't appreciate it. So my question is, how do you show your child without coming in a way of like, oh, I'm better than everybody else, because obviously you're the father, you're the role model, you're the one who has to wake up every morning and do what you're supposed to do. But in return, show your child that you are trying your best, that you are doing the best you can every single day, every single aspect of your life, and them understanding that.
Thanks. Because the English is not easy for me, so when you speak in the microphone, I heard you, I understood you great. So before I'm answering your question, I want to answer you with a story. in one of the courses that I give, professional courses, so one of the Talmidim that he's a parent himself, and he's also learning consulting, bring this brought this following story. His children are in the ages of 2, 4, 8, 9, plus minus. And I had spoken in the course about giving quality time to your children. And I explained what is quality time. You're just with the child without your condition of the bank account or your other different issues with everything. You're just with the child. And even if it's a half hour in a month, but if it's quality time, it's winning. So he decided, listen, I'll try this. So the next time his wife asked him to watch on the children, he told himself, listen, I won't do what I did last time, that I took them out to the park, and I sat with my smartphone because I have my job, and just let them to play. I'll do it with them. And he went with them, and he gave them 100% of attention in the different games of the park, and he was with them like a child. And when they finished this session and come home, so his oldest child told him, Tati, I have an idea. It was so great. Next year, בחופש הגדול, we don't have to go to Nofesh, to Tzimer, to the Tzafon, north. Just take us to the park and play with us. I was amazed because the child said the truth. The main thing that a child wants from his father is he should be privately for him, just for him. Okay, so we have some more community. How do you say התחייבויות? Yeah, obligations. But try this. If you could give your child even a half hour a month, but you're really 100% the father for him, you'll see the change. Because that's the thing that the child really wants more than other things. Personally, one of my children told me that my email is his tzara in the life. He said, if you would not have an email, I would be glad. Why? Because I have my job and I have my email. I have to get emails and write emails, and this is my job. You have to deal with parents and with professionals and whatever. So my child suffers from it. So מבחינתו, he doesn't need a lot of different things that he says he needs. It's not the inner thing. The inner thing he wants, a father that should be for him. So this is one answer. Quality time is a kli menatzach. It's a winning tool, a joker. Second answer is, everything goes with advertisements. Do advertisement for yourself. Not when he complains. Just stamkach, like midday pam tell you know. Tati woke up today 6 o'clock in the morning, like every day for job, and we got for you these new sneakers, even though you could have using the others, and we're pleading for you like a nice whatever, this and that, whatever you're really gonna do. And you know, we also, mommy also, whatever. I try to go and get for you the good goodies you want for Shabbos. תעשה פרסומת לעצמך. Today, you say in Hebrew, עשית ולא פרסמת, לא עשית. If you do something you don't do advertisement, you didn't do. Just do advertisement for yourself. Tell them, listen, I did for you this. Stam, not because no one complains. I do for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Psh, you know, I'm happy to do for you a lot. Try this. Yes. Yes. In the house or out of the house? In the house. With phone and computer, yeah. Yes. Wow.
They used to accept them with their haircut, the sport, the telephone, you know, and then they change things. Slowly, one at a time, they start throwing it out. So the kid, in my opinion, is a bit worried. He doesn't feel safe because he's thinking, when am
Mm-hmm.
place that he really loved was struggling, but he loved it and he used to speak about the rabbis closing, and now he can't stop rehearsing it. So he's at home. Before he has an opportunity to work, to go out every day to learn with his father, working, doing stuff. He's got friends that are working every day, they can make 4,000 shekel a month, 6,000 shekel a month. He's not motivated, there's no motivation. I think because he feels like his self-confidence is broken, so he just sits at home and plays. On one hand, it's great because he's at home, he's not out on the street.
But he's still part of the yeshiva?
Not for the last 2 days, and he's decided he doesn't want to go back there because it's alafanim.
Oh, wow.
So the question is, how can you give a person like that motivation? Even if you don't force him to go to the yeshiva, you're behind him, you have a great relationship with him, you talk, but to do something, go to work, do something rather than be at home. That's the
This is a difficult question because.
Just told by somebody back that they can't hear the questions over here.
Oh, okay. So they want. So I repeat the question. The question is about a child that had going through the last 2 years 4 different yeshivas, and each one of the yeshivas, in a certain point they became more strict, and he didn't last there. And now this yeshiva that he was there, he also doesn't want to go because he feels also they became too strict, too many rules, and he doesn't feel over there confidence. So this is בערך the question. So there's a problem in the question because you said a sentence that how can I explain him that even if you're not in yeshiva, do something with yourself. The problem is that we can't afford ourselves to leave him out of a מסגרת לימודים. So we have to give one more try, and I have also maybe an aid to how to do it. Because I have a great person from Beit Shemesh, a great person, a magic maker, B'chazdei Hashem. He works by organization and he has very good communication with children. And sometimes, even this child that says, listen, I tried and there's no more what to try, whoop, you could give it another try. So, I could give you the details afterwards because we have to be sure we did the 101% of Ishtadis, he should be an A מסגרת. אם זה לא הולך, זה לא הולך, but it's so dangerous outside. And the yeshiva is a big protection. Even in the yeshiva, if he doesn't really learn here and everything over there is so good, it's still a big protection. I've seen it from experience. So it's good to give it one more try. Okay, so thank you.